It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. Today, two outstanding elementary schools here to play our game, one of whom will go on to play University Park for the chance to become the second of the Final Four in this year's elementary competition. Let's meet today's teams. First, from District Heights Elementary, say hello to Kyasia Waddy, Madison Holmes, and Devontae Duncan. And from Montpelier, we say hello to Katie Godshall, Harris Chaudhry, and Allison Demick. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to the difficulty of the question. The easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10. Tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest question of them all. Both teams start out at 50 points. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds today, one of these 2 very talented teams will come back to play University Park. Let's go over and make sure everything works properly. Madison, would you try the red team's buzzer? It looks and sounds good. Good luck to you, to Devontae, and to Kyasia. And Harris, would you try yours? Let's turn the red one out, please, Mark. Okay. Top one. Okay. Go ahead, Harris. All right. And that looks and sounds good. And good luck to you, Allison and Katie. All right. Are we ready? Let's play the game. May the better team win. We go alphabetically D before M. So, Madison, let's play the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 10, please.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. To start us out, we have a visual question. Look at the monitor, please. This tuatara, an ancient lizard that lives in New Zealand, has an eye on the top of its head, has an oxymoronic name because since it dates from the time of the dinosaurs, we call it a living what? District Heights?
Fossil?
Yes, indeed. It's a living fossil. Oxymoronic meaning, can fossils be alive? Well, yes, indeed, in this case. Thank you, Kyasia. Go, Madison.
Science Potpourri for 15, please.
Science Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, there is a elementary school in Washington State right on the coast that is built to withstand an earthquake of 9.2 on the Richter scale. It also has above it the first ever vertical refuge from one of these catastrophes that often follows an earthquake.
Tsunami?
Montpelier.
Tsunami?
Tsunami, yes. It is protected now. It's a place where people can go if a tsunami threatens their school. It's in a precarious place over there. Good comeback. Go green. Yes, sir.
Green things for 10, please.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, the largest algae in the world is this brown-colored algae that can grow 60 feet tall and form forests on the floor of the ocean. What is its K-initialed name? Montpelier.
Kelp?
It is kelp, yes, kelp forests. Good. Green. Yes, sir.
Dateline Science for 5.
Dateline Science for 5 points. Teams, if you thought the Puppy Bowl was cute, all you got to do is look at the Smithsonian's black and white video of this black and white sensation at the National Zoo. District Heights.
Kyasia?
Kyasia?
Panda?
The panda, Bow Bow, is wowing them still. You want to squeeze it. It's so cute. Good. Red.
Body systems for 15, please.
Body systems for 15 points. Team scientists have developed an artificial version of this soft tissue found within bones that they're using to treat people who have leukemia. What is that substance called, Montpelier?
Bone marrow?
Bone marrow, absolutely right. And what an advancement that has been, saving so many lives. Green, please.
Let's get physical for 5.
Physical for 5 points. Teams, soon we are going to see giant blimps called aerostats all over the Washington area, 10,000 feet up, as they monitor for incoming missiles. They are filled with the same gas that fills the balloons at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. District Heights?
Helium.
Helium, yes indeed. Good. Red.
Body system for 10, please.
Body assistant for 10 points. Teams, these... Turn that one off, please, the green one. Okay. All right, this is body assistance for 10 points. Teams, these furrows are not very attractive on our faces, but on wet hands, they help us to pick things up and hold on tight. Montpelier.
Opposable thumbs.
No, not opposable thumbs. District Heights, these furrows on our face are not very attractive, but if they appear on our wet fingers, they help us hold on and grip things.
Hairs.
Wrinkles. Wrinkles. Furrows on your face. And when your hands get all pruny, when you put them in water, they help you to hold on tighter. That's probably an advantage evolutionary-wise. Try again, Red. 70 to 90, 20-point deficit. Go.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, before LeBron James's signature move was flopping onto the basketball court, he would come out and throw into the crowd pulverized bits of this soft white limestone that is used for writing on blackboards. Montpelier?
Chalk.
Chalk. Good. Green.
What should we do? Zoo parade for 5.
Harris, you decide, please.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. Teams, even though birds can't spell, they know that this letter shape is most effective for flying aerodynamically. District Heights?
T.
Not T. No. What lettered shape is the most efficient aerodynamically for birds to fly?
C. No, V.
V. V like in victory. You see the geese at night, like a giant V in the sky. All right. Green again.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, if one of you gets every single question on Science Bowl right, I will be so impressed that this bone on my face, otherwise known as the mandible, will drop. Montpelier. Jaw. It will be a jaw-dropping performance indeed. Good. Green, please.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. See, this will be the last question before our break. Team, some scientists are imagining in the future, get this, that we human beings could perform photosynthesis ourselves if we could somehow get a gene from a plant that put this pigment inside of us. District Heights?
Passivante. Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll, absolutely right. If you get chlorophyll, we could go out and sunbathe and eat at the same time. We've come to the end of the first round. Let's check that score. It is District Heights 75, Montpelier 105. We'll be back with round 2 in just a moment. Don't you go away.
Going to school pregnant, riding the bus, that was hard. You just have all the stares and you have all the questions, and even little kids make you nervous just staring at you. When you get pregnant, all the stuff just goes through your mind. Abortion, adoption, keeping him. You're his mom. You're supposed to be the one taking care of him and raising him. But when you're 15 and pregnant, you can't do it without support. I wanted to give him a better life. When I found out I was pregnant, I don't know, just a light hit me in my heart, just saying adoption. What you need to do. I really have a simple dream. I just want to get my nursing career, get married, and have a family. When I get pregnant again, give them a better life. I'm Miranda, and I chose adoption.
What if you could unleash your child's creativity while preparing them for a successful future? What if you could ignite your child's love of learning with one after-school program? What if that one program was easy and fun and taught critical thinking, teamwork, and communication? Destination Imagination is the one. Destination Imagination has been teaching kids teamwork, creativity, and problem solving for more than 25 years. Our students report increased ability to excel at school, Teachers report better attention and participation in our students. A major university study has documented how our students are ahead of others in creativity and innovation, skills that employers want and our future needs. To learn more about Destination Imagination, go to www.startateam.org and make Destination Imagination the one for you.
Welcome back to Science Bowl. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. And these two teams, if you think they're exceptionally talented, you are right. District Heights has been here twice already. This is their third appearance this year. And Montpelier, the county champions back in 2009, making their first appearance because last year they were one of the final 8. They got a bye in the first round. So we're very happy to have them here. Let's go first to District Heights. You have done so phenomenally well, Madison. What's your secret? You don't have to give away them all, but have you been practicing a lot?
Yes.
Yeah, it shows. And you have a wonderful sponsor down there, Miss Amber Scott. And she has been with us for a couple of years. Each year the teams get better and better, and we just appreciate all the work that she does. Madison, did you have any alternates on your team?
Yes.
Who are they?
Nevaeh Myrick and Anderson Romero.
Wonderful. We'll bring them out in just a few moments to join Madison and her on-camera teammates here. District Heights, who's the principal there?
Ms. Bloutrich.
And also behind you, a big supporter of Science Bowl. I like to ask schools this. If people ask about District Heights, what do you like to brag about? What's one of the best things at that school?
I like to brag about the teachers.
Yeah. What makes them so special?
They're really good. Also, they share information that pretty much you wouldn't find at other schools.
Wow. So they're giving above and beyond what you expect from a teacher. They really care about you. And you have some extracurricular activities there at District Heights as well, so it's a great place to go. What do you do in your spare time?
I read and watch videos on my phone.
What do you like to read?
Well, I'm currently reading a book called The Valley of Secrets.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Is it pretty good? One of those page turners you don't want to put down? Yeah, those are great books. Nice to have you. You're a great captain, Madison. Good to have you back. And I like your matching shirts. Is that part of the school uniform?
Yes.
The light blue polos and Kyasia. Madison often defers to you. How do you know so much science? Because you do.
Because I really like science. That's pretty much my favorite subject. And then our math and science teacher, Mr. Long, teaches us very well.
Wow, what a nice thing to say about Mr. Long, and I'm sure he appreciates hearing that. And I know you have 4 dogs at home, right? And you want to be a veterinarian. That's no surprise. Now, did you say you have a cousin who's a veterinarian?
Yes.
Yeah, so another way to influence your profession. What do you do when you're not taking care of your dogs?
When I'm not playing with my dogs or taking care of them, I like to draw pictures or read books.
Read books. All right. But readers do so well on this program. Reading will serve you well all through your life, and you guys are just great ambassadors for your school. Devontae, nice to have you back with us, too. What's it like being on Science Bowl a couple times?
It's not as scary as the first time, but it's still kind of scary.
Still kind of scary. I agree. You know, we're always a little nervous when we do this show, but you don't let those nerves get in your way. What do you want to do someday? FBI, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I can see you, you know, that takes a lot of discipline and physical strength and mental acuity. How'd you get interested in the FBI?
Because I watch a lot of movies, and then I started watching, educational episodes to learn about the FBI.
Absolutely, yeah. It takes a lot to be an agent. And, you know, they're thinking about relocating the FBI headquarters. They're going to move it out of Washington. It may come to Prince George's County, which would be just perfect for you. Nice to have you back. Let's go to Montpelier. County champs back in 2009. That's a long time ago in your lifetime. Harris, tell us about Montpelier. It's up there in Laurel. Who's your principal?
Principal Furlow.
Proud Principal Furlow. Yes, she likes to be known as that. And you have a wonderful sponsor, just like Miss Scott. Yours is Miss Clamage, and she has been with you for so many years. Bella has always sent us terrific teams, and she really cares about Science Bowl. And I know you're wearing matching shirts over there for your Science Bowl appearance. You look great. And you brought some canines with you there, too. Yes. What are they, Harris? Do they have names?
This is Monty 3, and this is Monty 4, and this is Monty 5.
Monty 5, I see. And do they bring you good luck? Is that the whole point?
Yes.
Well, they're doing very well so far. You have a slight lead here. Harris, tell me about any alternates on your team.
Our alternate is Desomi Oki.
Wonderful. We'll bring Desomi out along with Miss Clamage at the end of the program. Brag about Montpelier. Tell me what's great about that school.
Montpelier Elementary tries to make education exciting and interesting, and they try to care about every single person in the school.
Wow, what a nice statement. And Allison is shaking her head in agreement over there, because you don't want to be anonymous. You want to feel that you are important, you, just you, and that everything happening in that school is for your benefit. So boy, what a nice thing to say. You're a good spokesman, Harris. What do you want to do someday?
Well, I want to grow up to be an astronaut.
Yeah. Where would you like to go?
To somewhere that no other human or unmanned object has ever gone.
Wow. Well, we've sent unmanned rovers to Mars, but we're thinking about sending someone to Mars, a man or a woman. Think about that, but it's going to be a 2.5-year journey. You have to think long and hard before you do that. Nice to have you back. Allison, tell us about yourself. This young lady wants to go to Valparaiso University in Indiana because who went there?
Most people in my family,
Yeah.
including my parents and my grandparents,
Wow.
and a few of my aunts and uncles.
Wow. And you said your parents actually got married at Valparaiso, didn't they? So that's a special, special school for your family. What would you like to study when you get there?
I haven't really thought that far ahead.
Well, you're forgiven. You've got plenty of time. And I know you like to write, and you'd like to be an author someday, yeah? And so you're a good wordsmith, and you're a good science student, and you're a good player. Katie, nice to have you back. You were here last year on the Montpelier team. You want to be a teacher someday?
Yep.
I think that's just great. What would you like to teach?
Science.
Science. Well, that makes sense, too. How do you know so much science? Because you do.
My team and I practice, and I like to read books on science and animals.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly coming to bear fruit for you today. What do you do in your spare time?
I like to read, and sometimes, like Allison, I write.
Wonderful. All right. Well, you're all just so talented, and no matter what happens, you're great ambassadors from your school. Let's get back into our game. Montpelier 105, District Heights 75. Last correct answer came from the green team. So, Harris, start us out.
Science potpourri for 5.
Science potpourri for 5 points. Teams, studies now show that vitamin C and ginger and zinc, and specifically antibiotics, do nothing to cure this common condition caused by a rhinovirus. Montpelier.
Common cold.
The common cold. No matter what we do, we can't seem to conquer it. If you do something, it takes a week. If you don't do anything, it takes 7 days. Meaning, nature has to take its course. Go green. Yes, sir.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, the Winter Olympics are being held in Sochi, Russia, which is a subtropical city. So they made 28 million tons of this and put it under blankets, reflective blankets, so it wouldn't melt. District Heights.
Pass to Devontae.
Snow.
Snow? Yeah. There's not much snow in Sochi because it's down well below sea level, or at sea level. But up in the mountains, they do have snow in the Caucasus. All right, go red.
Let's get physical for 15 points, please.
Get physical for 15. Teams, Mountain Dew, or any kind of dew, forms when the water vapor in the air does this when the atmosphere cools. Montpelier.
It condenses.
It condenses, absolutely right. We're describing condensation. Go green again.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, the Mythbusters recently busted the myth that you can make a candle out of this substance that Shrek took out of his ear. District Heights.
Patsakaya. Wax.
Wax is right, yes. Remember those ugly-looking candles he made? Turns out wax doesn't make a good candle. You need paraffin, not earwax. Go red.
Dateline science for 15 points, please.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, doctors are now using nanoparticles of this valuable chemical element said to be immortal, and they're using it to treat cancer. The chemical symbol for this element is AU. Can you tell me what it is, District Heights?
Gold.
It is gold. Absolutely right. Good answer. Got yourself another 15 points. And that score update, 125 Montpelier, 110 District Heights. Madison, you choose.
Green things for 15, please.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, scientists in Australia are finding gold in the leaves of... Yes, Harris.
They find gold in the leaves of eucalyptus trees.
Absolutely right. Eucalyptus trees. Somehow during droughts, they can pull up water from hundreds of feet down. It's being deposited in the leaves. I was going to tell you it's also the tree that smells like a cough drop and is the favorite of the koala. You didn't need any of that. Let's turn the green light out and go back to Harris.
Zoo parade for 15.
Zoo parade for 15 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Even though no kangaroos live in America, there is an animal that lives in North America that is classified the same way as a kangaroo, and its babies, too, are called joeys. Can you tell me the name of that animal that lives among us?
Kangaroo rats?
Not kangaroo rats. No, good try. Lives in North America. It lives here. It's classified the same way as kangaroos are, and its babies also are called joeys.
Passachyia?
Yeah.
Wallabies?
Possums. A possum is a marsupial, the only marsupial that lives in North America. So its babies are also called joeys. That was a tough question. I thought you might be able to get that. Good try, though. Last correct answer came from the green team. Is that right, judges? Is it the last correct answer, the green team? Harris, please.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points, teams. We all know that green plants photosynthesize and they make sugar at the end. That sugar is stored, though, in what other form of carbohydrate? Inside the plant, the sugar is stored as what?
Pasta Devante?
Starches.
You got that right, young man. Excellent answer. Starch it is. And with that, our score is almost a tie. We go to red.
Soup parade for 20, please.
Soup parade for 20 points, teams. The question is as follows. Some of you remember last week the Pope let a turtle dove go? And as soon as it started to fly, a crow and a seagull came down and attacked it, tried to kill it. Those wannabe predators couldn't kill that dove because what killing equipment don't either of those birds have? Districtites?
Pasta Devante?
Talons.
Talons, absolutely right. They just have these wimpy little feet. So they were trying to kill the bird, but, you know, it was just in their head were they big guys. Go red.
Body systems for 20, please.
Body systems, 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. 3D printers thus far have been able to make copies of the bronchial tubes inside your lungs, plates on your skull, and these P-initialed bones in your knee. The patella bones. The patella is your kneecap. Red again. 10-point lead. Madison.
Let's get physical for 20, please.
Let's get physical for 20 points. A visual question. Look at the monitor, please. They're all different kinds of clouds. This is a kind of cirrus cloud. But if you look carefully, it looks like the skeleton of a fish, specifically the backbone of a fish. Therefore, it is known as what kind of V-initialed cirrus cloud? Harris?
Vertebrae?
Absolutely. It is cirrus vertebratus. It looks just like the vertebrae of a skeleton. Nicely done. Go green.
Science potpourri for 20.
Science potpourri for 20 points. Teams, this man wrote a book called The Power of Movement in Plants. He more famously wrote the book on the origin of species about evolution. Who was that, Montpelier?
Charles Darwin.
It was indeed Charles Darwin. Good. He also had a great interest in botany. All right. Montpelier again.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline science for 20 points. Teams, back in 1866, there was an astronomer by the name of Schiaparelli who was studying the heavens and found out that it was the movement of comets that determined when these things appeared with names like the Perseids and the Leonids and the Geminids. Those are all what's, Madison?
Passachyia?
Constellations?
No, they're not constellations. Good try. The Perseids and the Geminids and the Leonids are what that form in the sky as a result of the orbits of comets?
Nebulae?
Meteor showers. Meteor showers. Those are the things we always alert you to. You can go out right before dawn to see if the sky is clear enough. All the toughest questions left. 150 district heights. 180 Montpelier. Choose. Which one, Harris?
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25 points. Teams, deciduous trees lose all their leaves in the fall, which is a good thing because there's not enough sun to photosynthesize. If those leaves stayed on the trees, though, they would be dangerous to the tree because all that extra surface area would open them up to losing a lot of what? Montpelier.
Energy.
Not energy. All of that extra surface area with all those dead leaves on the tree would open up that tree to losing a lot of what?
Water?
Water, absolutely right. Good. Go red.
Soup parade for 25, please.
Soup parade for 25 points. Teams, your question is as follows. The lion is the king of beasts, but back in the pride, the male lion is also the head of the family. That makes it a patriarchal society. Elephants, though, in herds are ruled by women, making them, Harris.
Matriarchs?
Matriarchal, absolutely right. Good green. Go. Yes, sir.
Science Potpourri for 25.
Science Potpourri for 25 points. Teams, back in the Civil War, if soldiers were injured and had to go into surgery, they were sometimes told to bite the bullet because there were no anesthetics. A recent study says, yes, there were anesthetics back there to knock people out. There were 2 of them. Can you give me one thing that knocked out people before they went into surgery back in the Civil War? And he tries. Ether and chloroform. Try again, please, green. 3 questions left. Which one, Harris?
Let's get physical for 25.
Let's get physical for 25 points, teams. NASA is trying to decide whether to spend money on Curiosity or Cassini. Curiosity is a rover on Mars. Cassini is a spacecraft that is studying what planet? Montpelier.
Venus.
Not Venus. Good try. Get yourself 25 points here. Cassini is a spacecraft that NASA has been using to study what planet?
Saturn.
Saturn, indeed. Good. Go. Red.
Body systems for 25, please.
Body systems for 25 points, teams. Speaking of NASA, the Opportunity rover's arm is a little creaky these days. It's not working so well. So NASA joked and said, yeah, Opportunity's got a little bit of this initial condition that old people get as well in their bones, Montpelier.
Arthritis?
Arthritis is right, indeed. Dateline Science for 25, last question of the game. Let's check that score. District Heights 20, Montpelier 230. Our last question. What 3-lettered insecticide is now banned? One time it was killing mosquitoes. It almost wiped out the bald eagles. Can you name it?
The fly?
Montpelier.
The fly?
Not the fly. Name the insecticide that originally was used to kill insects like mosquitoes, but almost ended up wiping out the bald eagles.
The West Nile virus.
Oh, good try. DDT was the name of that insecticide. And with that, we come to the end of our game. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment. Don't go away.
I'm Gary Sinise. I've had the great privilege of meeting and working with many of our country's heroes, our veterans, and heard their stories. But for the 58,272 names on the Vietnam Wall, their stories will never be shared. Help us change that. The Education Center at the Wall will put faces to the names, displaying photos, letters, and mementos of those who served, so their stories will never be forgotten. Visit buildthecenter.org and help us build it.
Welcome back to Science Bowl. Hope you enjoyed this game at home as much as we did here in the studio. We have scores today that are very close. That testifies to the talent of these young people. We're proud of all of them. You're all great ambassadors for your schools. Our final tally, District Heights 200, Montpelier 230. Congratulations to the team in blue over there, Allison and Harris and Katie. Congratulations to Somi, great alternate, and Bella, you did it again. We're going to see you against University Park, and we like the little canines you brought with you today, too. District Heights, let's see those great smiles you got. What a season you've had. 3 times on the Science Bowl. You came so close. Kayasia and Madison, Devonta, you guys are terrific. And back there, Navia and Anderson, congratulations to you. And Miss Scott, we've been so lucky to have you for 3 years. Don't think about going anywhere. You're just a wonderful sponsor. We want to thank you for being here today. And we're very happy to have our own CEO, Dr. Kevin Maxwell, join us today. Dr. Maxwell, thanks for being on Science Bowl.
You're welcome. I wanted to come and offer my congratulations to the contestants as well, to their teachers. I know this is a lot of work to keep the kids prepared, and I want to, just especially say to you, keep studying science. It's very, very important going forward in this world. There's nothing I think that's more important to us right now as a country and as a world than continuing to develop in the sciences, and they are so important to our future. Things are changing very, very quickly, so make sure you keep going. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, what you're doing, and your parents making sure that you get the practices and home again. But thank you very much. Our country needs you. Thanks.
Absolutely. Our country is in good hands because of young people like you. You're going to do well by us. We thank you for being here today. Bye-bye. See you next time.